family is good and the girl is of good behavior, it starts with the mothers.
Say, okay, people have come to our house, we have given you food, you have eaten, you have drunk. What are you here for?
For us, the women, we have a lot of demands. Ask a woman what she wants, she will tell you, like, she'll give you a list. But if you ask a man what he wants a very submissive woman.
You don't want a woman who's always out there. You don't want a woman that is going to expose their body for everyone to see. That is your wife. Exposure is just for you.
If the mother and father are not of good quality, there's always a question mark on the boy or girl.
When you're raising your daughter, you don't tell her you're raising her for a good husband.
How do you handle a family as a woman?
Once you love your wife and you listen to that woman, everything is going to work out.
In Cameroon or in Africa, we say the man has to say. It doesn't work like that in America.
In a marriage situation, there are no two wise people, nor two foolish people. There must be one wise and one foolish.
This Chabo Ekukan, so this arrow, you are really ready. You are ready to go.
In the culture, whenever either your dad was dead or your brother, your senior brother was dead, they gave you their son or their widow to adopt.
It's just the fear of the unknown. They were not wrong. It's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
But it didn't really work that much. Because a woman will come 2-3 years to live.
Bechoko.
Mohwa.
Ekume.
Mohwa.
Jolly.
Mohwa.
Welcome to the Voice of Manyu Women. This is our second episode. In this Valentine special podcast, Mohwa USA Inc. dives into the enchanting world of Manyu culture, exploring the unique journey of becoming a Manyu wife. Join us as we unravel the intricacies of Manyu traditions, from the elaborate steps of family introduction to the vibrant spectrum of traditional outfits and mouth-watering culinary delights. Delving deeper, we address questions about polygamous marriages and unravel the intricate tapestry of family dynamics when faced with the inevitable, the passing of a husband or a wife. Discover how the Manyu community handles these transitions, ensuring the well-being of both family and children. This podcast promises an insightful and heartwarming exploration of love and life within the rich tapestry of Manyu traditions, offering guidance on preparing a woman to embrace the beauty and depth of the Manyu culture in marriage. Welcome, welcome. I will now introduce my co-hostess, the vibrant and upbeat Ma Mirabel Tambe. Ma Mirabel Tambe, the floor is yours.
Hello. Thank you. I'm Mami Rabel Tambe. I just want to welcome all of you guys to M.O.P, the voice of the Manyu woman. As my co-host says, today is love. We're talking about love the Manyu way. So we have 5 guests. I have 3 of my beautiful Mohwa queens. And of course, we have to have the opinion of the man. And we have 2 husbands. So first we have Ma Felicitas. Ma Felicita is a widow to Dr. Siseku Ayok Paul Array. She's also a mother of 5 and she's a grandmother of 2. We also have Ma Yvette Tambe, married to a Manyu man from Tanako. Tanako in the house, 39 years and 3 children. Ma Yvette, you're welcome. And we have Ma Rose. This one represents our youngsters because she's only 35 years old. married for 13 years, and she has 4 children. And then, of course, we have a male perspective. So we have Dr. Njang Orok. He's a Manyu man married to an African American woman. He has 3 children. Welcome, our Mohwa husband. And then we have a Seseko Pa Arembi in the house, the one that taught just about the whole Manyu people. Seseko Arembi is a father, a husband, a grandfather, mentor, and we're really looking forward to getting his insight on traditional marriage. I'm going to pass it over to my co-host, Majudit. Please go ahead with your questions.
Okay. Welcome again to all our beautiful guests who have taken out time from their busy schedules to be with us today. And also welcome to those who are watching around the world in the diaspora and as well as back at home. So today we will be talking about the marriage in Manyu culture, courtship as well included. And who better among us all than Pa Arembi, Seseku Arembi, to start to open this up. Pa Arembi, I'm sure when you were growing up, things were a little different than they are now, more traditional. I'm sure you have a lot to teach us and tell us about. So Pa Arembi, let's hear from you.
Well, if we can, thank you very much, Marius. If we can go down to the basics, I'm 78 years
Wow.
old. It
God bless
means
you.
I've seen it right down to the 50s. In the 50s, compared to what it is now, things are a little bit different. When we were growing up and we saw our elder sisters and cousins and aunts being married, it is very much what we have today. If I can remember my auntie who got married when I was 13, the husband to be, the fiancé, eventually moved into our house. She took care of all the men chores. You clear the farms, carry the wood, tap the palms, and bring the wine
Hmm.
Wow.
to the home of the girl.
Yes, Papa. Mm-hmm.
The type that I actually saw, there were also hunters. They put traps in the bush and were sure of eating bush meat almost on the daily basis. That went on for more than a year before we could not actually say,
Wow.
okay, you are ready now. What do you really have to offer? And then the families will come to propose, tell us all the goodies we have in the house which they have come to collect. And
So Pa Arembi, if I may
yes,
interject, was this a requirement for this gentleman to come live with the family and to prove himself before the daughter would accept him? Was this a requirement, or were there other
most
steps in the
most
courtship?
most often that was required. Most often, he was a man who moved into the family of the woman rather than the other way around.
Hmm.
Wow.
At least that's what I grew up and I saw. And when it comes to the real proposal, many things come into play. What does it bring? What will be required? What will be accepted? Then the real marriage,
Mhm.
where the bride price is brought.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like in the early 50s, it was the pound shilling, £10 for a bride, fifteen
Sister,
pounds.
how did they figure how much the bride price is going to be?
How much the bride price is going to be?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes it depends on the family. If you are going into a family where there are tough guys, well to do, you are not going to take that daughter for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You make sure you are going to bring a substantial sum for you to be
Okay.
accepted as part of the family.
Okay. Was the whole village involved in this, or was it just the lady's family that was particularly involved? Because we used to hear about, like, if you marry into a clan or community, you actually become a wife of nearly everybody in that community. Not particularly that you're married to them, but it's their responsibility also to protect you and be there for you. Was that the same for the man?
Yeah, yeah. When you come into this family, it's not just that immediate family. There are uncles and aunts and uncles. You
Mm-hmm.
see? So at the end of the day, you find that you are getting married into a whole clan.
Mm-hmm.
Either you,
And
the woman,
Papa,
come.
isn't it
Yes,
also true that if the woman is educated, the bride price is more?
of
Mm-hmm.
course, of course.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
It was that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear the women's perspective on what it actually takes to prepare a manual woman for marriage. Like,
Yes.
how do you make sure that you're going to be a good wife? Ma
Okay.
Yvette, please, can you tell us what it takes to prepare a manual woman for marriage?
Well, first of all, thank you all for inviting me, and I'm so happy to be here. Well, from all indications and from what I know, as you are growing up in the village or within your own community, you have women who are looking at you from either your mother's group, society meeting, or whatever they call it. There are women who are looking at you, they're looking at your attributes, they're looking at your behavior in the community. They are looking. Usually, if the family
Mm-hmm.
is good and the girl is of good behavior, it starts with the mothers. The mother now starts identifying this girl and wants to go
Mm-hmm.
approach and talk first to her parents that, I like your daughter. I really like the way she behaves. I like her attributes. So my son is of age. So we would like to see if we can, engage your daughter for our son. And then the mother of the daughter starts now begin to, massage the daughter into this relationship to start. So usually the fathers don't even have a clue. It's mothers. The other family is talking to
Uh-huh.
the girl's mother. The guy's father mother is talking to the girl's mother. So they kind of fix things up. And then come
Yeah.
time when there is truly an agreement between the women in the background. So now they said, okay, they are
Ah.
ready for an engagement, which we call knock door,
Mm-hmm.
or here we call it an engagement, right? So
Yeah.
now the
Right. Right.
family, yes, they want to go now official. The family of the man now decides to take their family members to come see the wife or the future wife's family. It is during this meeting that
Mm-hmm.
they will
Mm-hmm.
know if this woman is really accepting their son officially. So they will have to be told what we have. They have to. The
Okay.
man has. They have to bring food. They bring drinks, and usually
Yes. Yes.
sometimes they will just give money and the family will cook. Or they will bring the food, they will bring
Uh-huh.
the drinks. And then they come, family members of the future bride will sit and they ask this girl officially, are you agreeing to marry this man or not? And then the girl will say, yeah, because they will pour the wine and ask her, should we drink this wine? Because if we drink this wine, we assume that
Uh-huh.
you are accepting this relationship. And the girl would say yes. So the family would drink that wine. The family will eat and drink, and that's the first encounter. From this point, then they will now start arranging the dowry, what the man's family has to do. It could be a short or it could be lengthy, depending. So they will be given a list of what all they have to bring in terms of drinks, in terms of food, in terms of money, depending on what it is, how much they have educated their daughter, what they price their daughter to be. And these people will have to take that list with the assignment, and they will agree on a day that they have to come back. At this point, the family of the girl will then arrange for a representative, because it's not always the direct father of the girl that will talk. No. It is an elder in the family that takes over to do the negotiation. It is a negotiation, because when they start talking the monies that they want, the families have to negotiate.
Yeah. Yes.
I wanted to add something to what my Yvette said. When they are coming for the engagement, for what they call their kandak or kaibe in Ejakam, when they are coming for that knockdoor, the to-be husband comes with a family, like she said. When they come, the receiving family, the wife's family, they cook. When they come, as in the culture, when the guests come, they feed them, they give them food, they give them drinks. After they have eaten and drunk, now the liaison person stands up and greets. Say, okay, people have come to our house, we have given you food, you have eaten, you have drunk. What are you here for? And that is when the conversation comes in. I just want to keep in.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you for that. Yep, the conversation takes off from there.
Thank you.
And you will explain what's your mission here. And the girl and the parents would agree. And then they now leave with an assignment and a date for when they're going to come back for an official matter. At this point, the village has quarters, different quarters, and quarters are in also in families. So they would invite their important people to this family to come in attendance for the future official dowry payment.
Okay. That's really good. That's really, really good. We're getting to see a whole lot different than we knew growing up. I mean, our generation is a little bit, there's a mismatch of everything. So let's hear now from Ma Rose. Ma Rose, what did you add to that? How was it for you?
For me, it was different. It was different because my husband and I were not actually in Cameroon when the wedding was done, the traditional marriage was done. So our siblings had to represent us. So my sister represented me and his brother represented him.
Okay. Was it similar to what Ma Yvette was talking about?
Yes, it was the same.
Okay.
Yes, initially they did our traditional marriage. That's the knockdoor back home when my husband and I were not present. But a few years later, we did it here in Virginia. And one thing that I noticed was that since we are from the same village, we had to buy outfits for the mother of the groom and mother of the bride. And we had to also do what they call Nsita war for the father of the groom. Yes, and father of the bride. So, and they had a whole lot of tradition that they did.
Dr. Njang, could you elaborate on how you did yours too? Was it similar?
No, it was a little bit different. By the way, I want to begin by thanking you all for getting me in the podcast. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to speak on behalf of the Manyu men. So today I'll be speaking for the younger generation. Amen. So I heard what Sisiko Sam said. Like in the 50s, it had to be negotiation between the two families, right? It had to be negotiation between the mom of the male and the mom of female to agree on something. But nowadays, the younger generation look for theirs.
Yeah.
The younger generation will look for a woman they're attracted to, They begin talking, they get into a relationship. As the relationship grew further, they decide if they want to be together. Now, when they decide they want to be together, what they do next is the lady will go tell her mom or her parents that there's somebody who's interested in her. Then the guy would say, okay, I'm going to come see your parents since they have accepted that I should come talk to them. Then the guy would take um, his family to the lady's house. Mine was a little bit different because I'm married to an African American lady. They do not know this culture. They do not know our culture. They do not know bride price, but I instilled that I wanted to get married in Emmanuel as a
Wow.
traditional. Yes.
Wow.
So
You.
That's beautiful.
We are proud of you. That's good.
yeah. So I reached out to the mom and I explained and I told them what a traditional marriage looks like, what it entails, and what we're going to do. So we got them all African outfits.
Wow.
Yep, their family, we got their family African outfit. We got our own African outfit. We went there and we told them, well, we're gonna do a bride price. We're not just gonna take you, you're not just gonna give her to me. We are going to do it according to the Manyu culture. So we went there, we were received, we prepared everything ahead of time because they didn't know what to do. So yeah, we went there, we got everything, the cooking, the
Yes,
planning,
my hero.
and everything. And they just showed up. And we guided them on what to do. And we did it just like we do it in Africa. And she will come look for her husband, give the husband a drink, and the husband takes it, and it moved on from there. So it's just a little bit different from how it was done in the 50s. I was present, she was present. It was done in Miami, Florida. So it's quite different.
I actually
Okay.
had an opportunity
Okay,
to
I
meet
have.
your wife, Dr. Njang. She is a beautiful woman, very
Thank,
gorgeous. You married well, bro. You
thank you.
married well. Pouring libation, yeah, Papa Rembi, Seseko Rembi, Papa, tell us about that. The pouring of the libation. Did they do that at the weddings or the courtship time as well, or is that just on special occasion? Because I know growing up, I remember my dad used to do that quite often, and they would call on the ancestors in special during special occasions. So do they do that for weddings as well?
For the traditional wedding, they back home in the village, they will do that, especially at the time when the bride price have been given and the couple has to be blessed. They pour a libation to convoke and invoke the presence of the ancestors to come abide with a new couple and guide them throughout their marital life. Yes, they do that.
That's always beautiful and powerful. I always thought it was a very solemn moment because everybody bowed their heads down. I remember they would call the names of the departed and all from the great grandfather, great grandmother, everybody who has left to bless and everything. It's usually a very powerful ceremony. Dr. Njang, I'll
Yeah.
ask you, did they do that at your wedding as well? Who did you have
Yes.
do that? They did.
So for the unfortunately my dad had passed before then. So I'm in a family full of Sisikos. So I had Sisiko Jumbo. Who,
Okay.
yes, Sisiko Jumbo, who's my brother-in-law. He was there with other Sisikos. Assam was there. Sisiko Egbe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was there. So that's the family. Um, so I think they did that. So Jumbo is cultural. So
Yeah.
he had to do according to the rights of the Mandi people, and he deliberated all through the ceremony. So that libation was done.
Great.
I really wanted to find out, how do you prepare a young lady or young woman for marriage and to be a good wife in the husband's house? How do you do that? I'm gonna start with my Felicitas. Please give me an insight. How do you raise a beautiful Manyu daughter to make a good wife to the husband?
Thank you, Ma'am Mirabel. When you're raising your daughter, you don't tell her you're raising her for a good husband. You just correct her when she's wrong. Yeah. When she does something wrong, you correct her. When she doesn't dress properly, you say, "Oh no, you're not dressed properly. You have to be modest." Those boys out there, they have to come to you before they see what is inside there. They don't have to see before coming there. That is, you mold her character in everything in a positive way. You don't tell her that I'm preparing you for this, but in the back of your mind, that is what you are doing.
So modesty and chastity is pretty important.
Very, very important.
Okay.
Yes, very important.
There is also a very important aspect. Very, very important. The kitchen craft.
Yes, Papa.
Yes.
Of course.
They have to be with you when you're cooking.
You have to make sure that she is very active in the kitchen while she's at home. Because
very true.
There are some women who say, I don't know how to cook.
Oh my God.
My husband, I'm married to a very good husband because he's the one who does the cooking. That is very embarrassing for a woman. If you are a typical Manyu woman and you say you don't know how to cook, that's an abomination. So most Manyu women make sure that daughters leave the house very good at kitchen crafts.
You commend your daughter when she does something good. You could say, this chawa cook and so this arrow, you are really ready. You are ready to go. Comments like that. You are already a married product. You are ready to go. So those are the things.
I have a question, Sister Felicitas. Didn't I hear that in the past they used to have like a woman's house where they would send young girls to train them how to become a woman, not just to cook, but how to carry themselves, even involving raising a child, a baby, how to handle a baby, how to nurture a baby, how to nurture their husband and the family as a whole. I was told one time they used to be like in the villages, they used to have what they call
that is where the Moninkim comes.
Yes,
the Moninkim too comes in there.
Moninkim comes in there because they put you in a fattening
house.
Yes,
fattening house.
That fattening house prepares you, and you are not the only girl when the season is here. What happens is they put all of you, and you guys take time within the fattening house to prepare for dances, the Moninkim dance, taking care of a baby. How do you handle a family as a woman? So they teach you the craft of being a woman. And at the end of the season, you guys have to come to a display. They do go in this place where it is built just for that season. They are practicing. They are practicing and they are practicing.
Like how many months do they have to do that?
You know what? Truly, I don't know how many months, but it used to be almost like 6 months.
A whole dry season.
Yeah.
6 months, 9 months.
Yes.
They will be practicing dancing. Wow. They practice how to be a woman. The older women will be teaching them. Sometimes they even have to give them tattoos.
Yes.
Because the science of tattoo did not just start today. These people were tattooed. They were tattooed and they will come out when the day that they have to come to their dance. You will see how they're beautifully decorated. Some have good tattoos that have been put on them. And after the dance, you know who is a true Moninkim from the tattoos.
Yes.
So
I just want to add something onto what Ma Felicitas Ayus and Ma Yvette Tambe said about bringing up a daughter the right way and modesty, how you dress, how you present yourself takes you a long way, because even nowadays, men will judge you according to the way you dress.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I hope so. because there's
No, yes.
more
Now
activity.
it has come from where many years ago in the 50s, like Pa or Seseko Sami had mentioned, everything in the 50s. My Felicita had talked about modesty, how you dress, how you carry yourself. Nowadays, all those things that were instilled in our sisters back then are still in the light of what the men look for.
Okay.
So a man or today's men who look at you according to how you dress, they will say, this is not a marriage material. This one is a party girl. This will not stay. You want a woman who is going to keep the house down.
This one will not be able to cook.
You want a woman who will stay at home. You don't want a party woman. You don't want a woman who's always out there. You don't want a woman that is going to expose their body for everyone to see. That is your wife. Exposure is just for you. So
another important factor too is parenthood.
Yep.
If the mother and father are not of good quality, there's always a question mark on the boy or girl. So the parenting too matters in the Banyan culture. The house from which the girl or boy is coming from impacts on the choice of marriage.
In the Manyu culture for marriage, there was something that was done, which is like background check nowadays in America. Because if you came from, Ma Yvette gave an example of a girl who was seen in the village by another mother that is nearby villages. If you came with your husband from Binduk, like coast as they call it, you people are out of Manyu and you come with your husband and you come and inform your family, like I did, we're not in the village. Both families, most especially the woman, the family, they try to investigate, like what. So they investigate to find out where their child is going to enter. Especially if you are coming from a different village, they try to make connections with people they know in that village to find out about that family. So that is done. It's like in America they do background check. I just want to say that the Manu people are very, very serious on that.
And
Yes,
they are
Mama,
looking
I
for,
believe you,
if that
also-
family, listen, that they are looking for if that family has epilepsy or
Yes,
that
I
people
was
have
going
suffered
to
from
say that,
leprosy,
Maybe all that.
and that type of thing.
or if
Whether
they have
that
even
witchcraft,
if they have witchcraft, or even when they give, what kind of children do they have when they give birth? If you come from a family that has a bunch of people with mental illness or deformity,
they survive or do they die? True.
Exactly. Yes, that's also looked down upon. So I remember very well that, especially like even me from my family, my mom used to say, you know, I don't know how to say it well in Kenyan, but make and bring some person for your way.
Make your different and
team.
That's epilepsy. And if in the Manu culture, the marriage, I'm not very sure, but I think Upper Bayang is a bit different. In the Memphis Central and the Jagam areas, when you get married to your wife, for them, marriage is for better, for worse, until death do you part.
Yes.
In the Memphis Central and the
Felicitas. I was
don't know about
ask,
yes. Don't know about, but I know that in Upper Bayang, when a man
it's a
gets
little
married to the
different.
wife, they bury their wives because
I can explain that too. Yeah.
Hold on, mommy, because I know that I have given my niece to marriage to an Upper Bayang man, and on the day of the marriage, we told him, we are giving her to you. God forbid it happens. If she departs, you have to bring her back to us. So that is our culture. Memphis Central area and the Umoja. That is how it is.
So the daughter has to go back to her family.
You have to go back to your family when you die. To village of origin.
And in Upper Banyang,
You go back to village of origin.
Yes, we are village of origin.
but in Upper Banyang, when you
Yes.
in Upper Banyang, when you die, they have to bury in your husband's compound.
Your husband's family
I'm saying it's
compound.
different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different from Imojok and Memphis Central area.
Yeah.
I think
Go
Memphis
back to
Central
our
and
parents.
Yeah, and I know that.
Pardon
Well,
me,
a
to
lot
say-
change it.
is changing already. So
No.
Yeah.
a lot of these things we're even talking about, some
Right.
of them don't
Right
even,
now,
exist
some
anymore.
families, it depends on the family. Some people, if their mother dies, the children are what to do. They will say, "Oh, we want our mother to be by our father," but you have to negotiate with your family.
Yeah.
If your family accepts, fine. If not, mother is going back to her parents.
Yes,
This is
Pastor.
addressed to Dr. Orok. Since your wife is an American, African American, could you tell us about some of the differences, not only in culture, but how do you two manage to bring everything together? Is it difficult? Was it an easy transition? And has it gotten better over time? What are the challenges, perhaps for other younger people who are watching, who also date and also perhaps are married to people from different cultures?
It's all about acceptance.
Mhm.
It's all about compromise. It's all about respect. It's all about acknowledging one's culture. It's all about not stereotyping. So I came to the American culture and I presented to her the African culture. She was open to it, and that's acceptance. Okay, and I was open to the American culture, so I have accepted her culture. She accepted my culture.
That's good.
Then now compromise where you guys have a bottleneck event. There has to be compromise, right? With mutual respect. In Cameroon or in Africa, we say the man has the say. It doesn't work like that in America. And it doesn't work like that in the modern world.
That's true.
So women also have a place.
That's
We
right.
have to give them their place.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we have to listen to them. We have to address their concern. Likewise, we present our concerns to them in a respectful manner.
Amen.
So it's a give and take situation. You can't always take without giving.
That
So
is so true.
there has to be some compromise. There has to be some respect. There has to be some acceptance. You have to make them feel valuable. If they feel valuable, you've won everything.
Wow. That is great. I'm sure a lot of people listening to this will take it to heart. And it seems like, for a lot of us who live here as well, all of us have had to go through one way or another, even if the couple is both from Cameroon, living in America, the wife is working, the husband is working, they have kids. So the responsibility has to be shared, but in some very traditional households, the man still looks up to the woman to do everything, so I have friends also who complain. They go to work, they have worked 12 hours, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours. They come home, they still have to cook and feed their husband who's come from work and is watching TV at home and is not even caring about the kids. So the wife has to come home and still go ahead and do that. So I applaud you, Dr. Orok, for that, because that's what we need to hear. Because back at home in the villages, the women are the one who used to stay at home. They didn't have to go out to fend, for the family as well. But in the modern days, we have to chip in the same like the man has to. So the responsibility needs to be shared, and we need that respect.
Sure.
Like we say, we have a lot of divorces going on now. I think that's part of the problem also.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people fail to see that, now marriage is a partnership.
Yep.
Yes.
Between two people.
Right.
It's a sacrifice. You have to give and take. Nobody's here to work for another, but it's a shared responsibility.
Absolutely.
Papa, can we hear your take on that? Because you're very seasoned and been married for so many years. How do you
I
make
have
it work and still keep it
I have
traditional?
this parody I always present in situation like this. You see, in a marriage situation, there are no two wise people, no two foolish people. There must be one wise and one foolish.
Exactly.
Sometimes you say, okay,
Yes.
I accept, not because you are really guilty, but
Yeah.
just because you want peace to reign.
Compromise.
That's the
And
that's that's the
in a
compromise.
marriage,
Right.
in
As
a
a
marriage
tolerant.
situation, there's no talk of war. If you hold this end of the rope and the other hold the other end of the rope, and you keep pulling, you keep pulling, you keep pulling. Finally, the rope gets broken in the middle and you fall far apart. That's what brings about divorce.
You fall.
So if you pull and pull and you find that the other
Wow.
one is not letting go, let it go. Just let it go.
Amen.
And
That's very good advice,
Thank you,
Papa.
Papa,
Very
for
good.
that.
I,
That's
I,
really key.
I
Yeah.
just want to
Thank
add
you.
something to what Papa is saying.
Mhm.
The key thing here to any kind
Yes,
of
my
relationship, besides it being husband and wife, every time you put two people together in a room, what do we say? We need diplomacy. So in a home, the woman needs to know her place. You are a woman. If you are a woman that has also, you're a godly person, you read the Bible, your husband is the head of your household. As much as he would respect you, he would give you everything. But you should know that you are under this man. You are his support in that home for the two of you to make the family work. But that pulling and pulling and pulling, it doesn't last because it will surely break. Everybody trying to be, I am big, I am this, I am that. It doesn't last. The marriage is going to bound to go. And when we are doing these things, we have to understand that
That's wisdom.
our children are watching. They
watching.
may not say a thing at the time. They may be young, and you are thinking they're young, but they are registering. Because as they go out there, that's exactly what is going to happen. So that's all I have to say. We as women, we are very mindful. A good woman is very mindful about the environment that they raise their children in.
Yes.
Okay. So far, we have talked all about what is expected of the woman. Does anybody, can you share with us, anybody, what is expected of the man, you know, as a husband, a Manyu husband? What is it that the women prize in their husband? What do they look for to say, hey, I have this man. This is my one and only. You know, he is everything to me. So what does it entail? Perhaps
Rose, please take that one. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Well, what I would say about that one, you know, for us the women, we have a lot of demands. Ask a woman what she wants, she will tell you, like, she'll give you a list. But if you ask a man what he wants a very submissive woman.
Amen.
Once you are submissive, everything will work.
What is it that makes a man so attractive to the Manyu woman? What are some of the criteria for a husband?
Yeah, if according to the Bible, it says the man should love his wife. Once you love your wife and you listen to that woman, everything is going to work out.
Okay.
Because some men, some of the marriages, they fail because the man always think that he's on top. Who are you to talk? Who are you? But if you just listen to your wife, it's going to work out.
Let's say you're the one. What really would you be looking for as a Manyu woman in a man?
Or
Well,
what do you
personally, I think that, yeah, thank you. Yeah, personally, I think there's two aspects. There's the Christian side and the traditional side. So you have to have a balance, of course. As a Christian, I want somebody that I can actually submit to and doesn't see submissive as beneath them, but see it as they are somebody that's coming alongside them to live life to the fullest. That's what I look for. Now, the traditional part, because I'm a village girl, a civilized village girl, I call myself, I look for somebody that's also vested, just like we've been saying. The family is important, the background, but somebody that also respect my culture, even if they're not from my culture, as much as I respect their culture. So that if I dress like this, I'm going to the meeting, they don't look at me like, why are you dressed like that? You should be in jeans and t-shirt, because there's some of those things that are important to me because they're valuable to me. And maybe the way I try to raise my children, my daughter, to be humble, to be submissive to their husband in the future without feeling slighted or without feeling like they beneath the man. So yeah, those are some of the things I would look for when I'm looking for a man, a husband, I should say.
I was going to add that in addition to what Mami Rabael has said, because I'm also a country girl, I like I like people who like culture, and I like an outgoing a person, a people's person. I like somebody who likes to be in the community, who likes to be with people.
And for me, I want to add to what Felicitas just said. One's attributes can tell a story about them, how they present themselves in public, how they carry themselves, how they respect other people around them is very important, because some people are also all about themselves and they feel so big, so out, like, where they are, nobody is close to them. Those type of attributes, I'm not interested. I like simplicity. Just be a simple person and be respectful of other people. Life will go okay. It doesn't matter if you don't have a penny in your pocket. We don't have food to eat. We put our heads together. We can make it happen.
Right.
So that's very good. Ma Yvette, that is an excellent way of putting things. But let me ask you, with the kids that we're having here now in America or in the diaspora, America, England, Europe, wherever, I mean, how can we maintain that same type? It's not going to be the same like us that were born in the motherland, in back at home. But how can we maybe carry some of this and instill in them? Because everywhere they go, they're bombarded with different culture. Little girls I see now, they're wearing all the shorts, all the way up their little booties showing and things like that. And they don't understand that it is not really appropriate, because they see their friends doing the same thing and nobody tells them that it's wrong. So we have all of that going on. We talk about being chaste, we talk about being modest. But we live in a society that's not so chaste and modest. But we also don't want to ostracize our children. We don't want to make them feel different, because they have to belong. Okay?
All right.
Here that are American children. They're Cameroonian American, African American, but they're not Cameroonian totally. Some of them will never even go back to Cameroon to live. But our goal, like for me, I believe, is that we should pass some of our traditions to the young generation. How can we do that?
Okay, so let me take on that, because as it is, I said earlier that I have 3 kids here, and my children, the first is 36 years old, the second is 34, and I have a 30-year-old. I would say this, going back to parenting, think about what matters from age 1 to 5. Age 1 to 5. If you put in your children, you may think 5 years old is not old enough. If you teach your children from age 0 to 5 that this is what is acceptable from our family, the way we know how to raise you, we are going to do this, we are going to do that, we are going to. At age 0 to 5, you've laid the groundwork. The rest of it is building up, going upwards. So when they come home and they're telling you, everybody in my class is doing this, and then you gather them and say, sit down. Do I look like everybody in your class's mother? I am your mother. I'm not everybody in your class's mother.
Right.
We are going to do what our family does.
Right.
Their mothers have their own responsibility to take care of them. So you're not going to talk about everybody. All my friends are doing this. No, I am your mother. I am
Telling you what is
responsible.
good, best for you.
I'm
But
responsible for
Dr.
raising.
Oro, to you, how do your
Yes.
children are also growing up? How do you instill some of those values in them?
So coming from an African background, I live as an African man. I will not depart from that.
Amen.
And the upbringing that my parents gave me is an upbringing I'm giving my kids in America.
Right.
Mhm.
Not gonna be any different.
All right.
That's it.
Notwithstanding my wife African American, she has to. We all know that I come from a good place, and the values I'm instilling in my kids based on how I was brought up.
Okay.
That's the part we're taking,
Good.
and she respects that.
Yeah.
Coming from a big family, my sisters don't live very far from where I live.
Very good.
They have seen their cousins who were also born here, who are in med school now, how
Amen. Amen.
they grew up in the same culture, in the same Cameroon African culture,
Mm-hmm.
not the American culture. We are a community of people, Cameroonians, Africans. We hold ourselves accountable.
Amen.
We live a life
Community life.
Community.
we have to live according to the norms of our community.
We are accountable to each other.
Yes, not
Yes.
I'm a person on my own and I'll do what I want. It doesn't
Mhm.
apply in my house. They have to go. My kids rarely eat African food, American food.
Good.
They eat African food.
Wow.
Very good.
So who cooks it? Your wife cooks? That's good.
Yeah.
It's easy.
She
That's
loves she loves African food. That's
Wow,
all.
that's
we do
good.
in the house. Once in a
Good.
while, she make something different.
Very good.
But
They call that real food.
90% of the time, 90% of the time we have Afran soup.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have rice and beans.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all.
Most of our American kids that are kids born here, they love that fufu and okra soup.
Yeah,
Maros,
that's my favorite.
I know you have little children.
Yeah,
that's-
okra soup, Gary and okra soup.
And
Yeah,
you
that's-
have kids that just
Mhm.
To me, I even put lunch money in my kids'
Maros.
account. They don't like to eat spoon. They will not eat. And then when they go to school, sometimes they even discuss in their dialect. And their friends are like, "What are you saying? I don't want you to hear what I'm saying." Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That's what's up.
love that. Oh my God.
I
Wow.
Pa Arambi, you're hearing all of this from a younger man, from a younger generation. What can you say about that? Isn't that wonderful?
It is.
We're thousands of miles away from home, Papa,
Yes.
and they're still holding on.
I know Papa
I
is
really
so
applaud
proud.
Doc for all that.
So proud.
Amen. Papa, anybody has whoever comes from a polygamous family, we need to hear a little bit about that part of our culture. Can anybody shed light on that? You know, which of us? You know, I know a lot of us, our dads had other wives. Some, at least they had the two women were married in the house. Let's talk a little bit about that, you know, because that's part of our tradition. Like I have a friend who's a chief. He has several wives, you know, and that's the culture. So can anybody shed light on that? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, this is Yvette. So in my family, we grew up in a polygamous situation or environment. My dad had over 7 wives.
All right.
Wow. The Tangtimo.
Yes, he had over 7 wives.
And
But he had 4 of his own that he married. But of course, in the culture, whenever either your dad was dead or your brother, your senior brother was dead, they gave you their son or their widow to adopt. So he adopted his one of his father's wife, and two of his cousins. So
Nice.
those ones came in. So it happened, the women, those other women that he adopted, they were just there. I don't know whether they really had any kind of relationship. Of course they did. She had children by them anyway. But when I grew up, as I came out, I saw that my father had 4 wives that were having a rotation. So they had a rotation. This week is your week to cater for the man. So they will cook. The soup that their husband has to eat will be put somewhere in the husband's room. And that woman is the one that will be sleeping with their husband for that week. So it's her responsibility to sleep with their husband for that week, to cook for their husband for that week, and she will make the bed, clean the room of the husband. So until that, it's like taking a shift. So until our week is expired, and then another woman will come along. But also in that situation, I saw where my dad had the women who cook better and the women who didn't cook well. So even when the other woman is taking a rotation, the one that doesn't cook well, he will still call his best cook wife. He said, make me some food. So that woman will now hiddenly cook the food and take it to his room and put it there. But that was it. So you have people like my senior brother. He used to say in the language, when time comes, his mother has cooked, because each wife is responsible for their own children. So his mother will cook and he will be crying.
No, the mother is not doing it well.
Yes.
My father, he doubled on that polygamy thing, but it didn't really work that much. Because a woman will come 2-3 years to live. But, it isn't really a good experience to some people, but to some families, the women will work so well that you will not know whose child is whose.
Yes.
You see?
Yes, that's true.
And they work so well.
Yeah.
I have this experience of a friend. We thought I thought with Yvette, you know Mr. Ankino?
Yeah.
Mr. Anki had 3 wives.
Okay.
And they worked so well. There was a time he had to leave marriage because the women were too overbearing.
Wait, the man left the marriage?
Yeah, the 3 women were becoming very overbearing. I packed the suitcase and left the house. we had to go and beg him to come back to his wife.
Yes,
For real. So they all ganged up on him.
Never heard
Yes.
United.
That's how bad it was.
Trouble with the sleep, you go woke up trouble.
Yep.
Yes.
Women can take you down if they are together. Women can take you down. And relationships, if the women get along, sometimes the women are willing to get along, but the man doesn't want them to get along, because when he sees their
benefit,
he wants to get in.
and rule.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say that the women getting along is from above, from the man. If the man really doesn't discriminate and treats them all as equal, then I think they get along better. It's usually from the top.
Yeah.
Right. The disadvantage of that polygamous homes, children grow up to become enemies within their home.
Yeah.
Because each child is taken care of by their mother. And these children, the mothers are in competition.
Yes.
And they fight. And that tears the children apart.
Indoctrinate the children.
Till death do us part. Those children leave home. They don't get along with their siblings. They don't. Because, you know, I am my mother's child. And my mother was not liked by my daddy. That becomes something that they move from the wives to the children. And it becomes a lifelong enmity within the house.
Yeah.
Polygamy has an emotional turmoil. There's a lot of pretense. Like we all say, I've heard people say, seen polygamous families work together. In the background, there are some reservations. That's inevitable.
Definitely.
Yes, it's inevitable when people do pretend.
Yes.
And for face value, do act like they're united. When you have to hear what is said in back, you wouldn't believe. So again, it's a unity based on pretense, and everyone has an emotion, everyone has a feeling, and everyone will gravitate towards their own mom and feel for their mom.
Right.
Then it puts that barrier to brothership or to brotherhood or to sisterhood, and then when the dad is no longer there, they are no longer a family. Because the dad
was
works.
The question we're going to bring up. Yes. The
dad works so hard and really hard as to what he has, the mess that he's brought. He tried to put them together, but people are going to deceive him that they're together. Once he's gone, the elderly or the older ones will take possession of what is meant for all of them, and the less affluent will suffer. So again, it's a relationship that is full of deceit. It's a relationship that is full of, I take care of mine, but I'll act like I'm taking care of everyone. Let the light show, then you'll see who is who. People live in darkness, so no one sees it. But when the truth comes out, you will know people are for theirs. They will say, oh, I take care of all these kids, they are all mine. That's a lie. That's a big fat lie. If they're going to school, this mom is going to give their kid money in the back. Everyone is going to give money in the back, right? The one whose mom does not have money, what do?
They suffer.
They go to the farm.
Again, it's not a situation whereby people live equally.
No, they don't.
Sometimes even Papa, sometimes even doctor, even before the father dies, that discrimination is even there before the father dies. Some kids go to private school and then the other ones go to public school.
It's there. So it's not a health, and some people grow up without confidence, and it takes confidence to be successful.
Yeah,
so true.
Yeah.
What advice, doctor, do you have for those who want to become a Manyu, a wife or husband? Let's say you know maybe one of your in-laws who wants to marry a Manyu woman. What would you advise them? Or, you know, a girl who's interested, you know, I'm sure they come to some of the Manyu meetings and parties and they've met one of our people and they like them. What would be the advice if they're watching right now? What can you tell them based on what you know so far, also in your relationship, having, you know, a wife who was not born from Manyu and you have a successful and beautiful family life?
So it all depends on the individuals. So now I'll tell you guys this. I'm not going to be it's not judgmental. The women from this side are honest women. We demonize a lot of those who are not ours because we don't know them. Before I ever got married to my wife, my family refused.
Mhm.
Trust me.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You want to get married? You want to get
that's
married to an
typical.
Akata?
Yeah.
You want to get married to an Akata woman?
Mhm.
But that's the best thing that happened to me. I've been with Cameroonians,
Yep.
and none of them could compare what I have.
Amen.
So you cannot negate a person from where they came from.
That's when you know you have the right one.
Yeah.
You cannot negate a person based on their origin. That is discrimination, and it's not allowed. Wherever love comes, let it be love. Give people the opportunity to prove themselves. My family refused. They're gonna listen to the podcast, and they know what I'm talking about, right? It's just the fear of the unknown. They were not wrong. It's the fear
Yeah.
of the unknown.
No, yeah.
Yes, the fear of the unknown, and you don't want your loved one.
To fall in the arms of.
Yes. So, but again, we should be open to other cultures and give everybody's different. And these people, they will deal with you according to how according to how you deal with them.
Deal with them. Yeah.
Trust me. But our women will pretend. African women will pretend. Things may not be going well. They will sit there and they'll say nothing. These people, if things are not going well, they'll bring it up to you.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good thing.
Yep.
Because there is communication. Before things go south, you know it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Before things go south, you know it, because they are communicating their feelings to you. But other women, our own women, our culture women, because I don't know if it's fear.
Papa, that's what we were raised. Like we were saying, that's what we were raised. Be submissive. Don't say anything. Suffer.
Yeah.
There's You cannot have nothing good comes easy.
Make it work.
You make it work. And the burden is on the woman. Even if your husband is treating you bad, sometimes you want to say something. The other women also start talking to you as if you're the one with the problem.
Yes, so that's the problem. You have to give people a chance. And because our women don't talk,
very true.
Have a lot of burden.
Even when they talk, Papa, nobody listens.
Yeah, but by the time it comes out, it's already bad. Because they have a lot.
When you want to talk, they say you are the bad person.
Yes, they have a lot.
Now you be woman. Woman not supposed to talk.
You be the first woman. You be the first man for marry.
Again, now we are in the modern world. My brothers and sisters listening out there, we have to treat our women with some love and some respect, and let them be able to talk to us as friends. You want to have a wife who is able to express themselves without fear,
retribution,
without rejection, and you are the man and you have all the say. It's not gonna work.
Yes,
because when it comes out, you will not be able to withstand the anger that she's been carrying for a long time, because you wouldn't let her speak. So it builds up. Make your wife your friend. But I have learned to compromise. I have learned to listen. My wife is gonna tell you that sometimes I do not listen. But again, as we grow, we learn. There's nothing wrong in saying you're sorry. There's nothing wrong in apologizing to your wife.
Manyu man.
Manyu man.
I hope they will listen.
They have to listen. They have to listen. Yeah, we should be a better version of the old.
Yeah.
Our old parents.
Yes, we have learned. We have come to a place that there is life, a place that will learn, a place you have to when they say when you go to Rome, do as the Romans do, take good things and let go of the bad things. We have,
but don't become a Roman.
Yes.
Okay.
There are some good things in America, there are some bad things too. Pick the good things, let go of the bad things.
You have said it, bro. You have said it. So very good.
Thank you,
I mean, you
Dr.
have really
Ora.
said it.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Dr. Oro.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's hear from the women. It's Valentine's month coming up. I haven't heard no one of my sisters say, I want roses from my husband. I want to be taken out for dinner, or something. What do we want from our men?
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yeah, though I'm a widow now, but
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
when he was alive, we enjoyed ourselves as time went on. We did not wait for Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
Wait for the Valentine's Day. When we were in Cameroon, we had time that we would go even to Douala, we'll go to Bas Nava, go and eat our fish. Sometimes we even leave the house, go and take a room in the hotel for weekends.
Wow.
So that is how we lived. And when I came, when I moved over, when he came here once, he said, one lady said to him, "Chai, I don't see Dr. Ayuk for the first time without a wife." So we did not really have Valentine's Day. We did not have Valentine's Day. That's the way we live. In our own little way.
Every day was Valentine's.
Yes. Every day. We live every day. We're always together.
That's
why
even
all my
better.
meetings, people knew him. All his meetings, I was there.
Wow. That's beautiful, Mama. God bless you. God bless you too.
That is that good friendship.
When we were in Bamenda, we used to be in Akanga Manyu. Then I was still a student at the university.
I know.
Yeah, we used to be in Akanga Manyu. When I come for holidays, I attend meetings. Then he was working in Bamenda.
May he rest in peace.
Amen.
Yeah.
So,
Amen.
my sisters, any more from any of my sisters?
What
What do you want from your men? Because they're listening. I'm sure they're going to be watching.
Right.
What would you guys, some of my sisters, we're talking to right now? The other ones cannot join in. They're not able to, but they will be watching. I believe so. And listening.
Take them out. Take the wives out.
We have 4 children. We've been raising these children together.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing everything together. We make sure we have like 2 vacations a year. And even the Mohwa competition that just passed, we had a 2-month-old baby. We went together with that baby.
Oh.
He was in the and
we did.
I went and yeah. So I don't really need a lot from him. He's been very supportive. We'll do it together.
God bless you. That's good. That's an exemplary Manyu couple. Kudos. God bless you both.
Yeah.
Yeah, God bless you both. Yeah. Who else?
Well, this is Mrs. Tam.
My Yvette.
Yes. So,
Yes, Mrs. Tam.
Valentine for me is just a formality. My husband and I, we are out enjoying ourselves every minute we get. We are empty nesters in my house. There's nobody here. So it's a Valentine in my house every day. Honestly. It's a Valentine. Sometimes we choose to. It is the truth. So I when the Valentine is coming now, I'm thinking in my mind, what can I possibly need or what can I possibly ask? I don't see what really interests me because I'm getting it every day. Why do I need a special? I got Valentine every day. We take almost every month. We are in the plane going somewhere. So we go there, we have fun, and we come back and start the grind. So if he gives me flowers like he always does, it's a formality. But I have love every day. So
my husband even asked me today,
yeah.
Marvelous, what do you need, honey? What do you need for Valentine's Day? I was like, I just need you to be home that day. Just be home.
Oh, that's
You didn't
beautiful.
say chocolate?
No, I said I just need him to be home.
Papa Rembi, you tell us too now. I mean, you're in America, Papa. You're not in Cameroon. So come on. It's Valentine's Day, Papa. So say your own thing, huh? Are you doing something for your wife or your wife is doing for you? What are you guys planning, Papa?
The children usually
the children
for us. They'll send us out, go somewhere, But sometimes I go to the kitchen and cook something special.
All right.
Yeah,
Wow,
because
Papa.
I'm a very good cook.
Papa, what do you cook for Eru? Come on now, Papa.
And I mean something special. I can
Like what,
do
Papa?
I
like
know.
mbok nsine kwa.
That's right. There you go. Good. Delicacy. Very good delicacy.
Mbok
That's a
mbok
delicacy.
nsine. Sibebok na nukota chot.
Wow.
That one deep, Papa. Woohoo.
Yeah.
I said that one.
That's the
Yeah.
one.
For your food.
Sometimes, but it's not often though.
These are the secrets to long-lasting relationship, long-lasting marriage.
We have got into the 49th year. That's not easy.
Wow, Papa. God bless you.
49. I want to thank all our guests today. Oh my goodness, we've had some really, really long and deep, important lessons. Just explanations into our cultures, just teaching us, giving us encouraging words to make our marriages last, to become that Manyu wife and that Manyu husband. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I mean, this has been another really enlightening episode of M.O.P, Mohwa USA Inc. podcast. This is something that we hold dear to our heart, the women of Mohwa. We hope you've been captivated by the richness of our tradition, the warmth of the family, and the allure of love within the Manyu culture. But fear not, dear listeners, for this is just the beginning of our exploring into the heart of Manyu as we anticipate International Women Month in March. We will dive into the stories of our founding mothers, celebrating their strength, resilience, and the legacy they've bestowed upon us. So please stay tuned, keep your hearts open. Until next time, my audience, my guests, my co-hosts, I want to say to you guys, may love and tradition guide your path.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen, Mommy Rabel.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, lady.
Mohwa.
Mohwa.
Ujoli.
Mohwa.
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 Now kandang.
Hello.